Away for the men's 100 final. Kishane Thompson got away well. Kishane Thompson in control. A team play.
On your mind, like how you feel? Excited?
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm really grateful that I finished injury-free.
Very, very fast. 0.0 meters per second. The wind speed.
9:75 is a really impactful time. I wonder if you were planning and expected to run that, and you kind of.
For me, it's just to understand my speed a bit more and trust it.
In a moment that stopped the world of track and field cold, Kishane Thompson just did the impossible. 9.75 seconds. Let that sink in. We haven't seen a time like that since the golden era of Usain Bolt. And now, after nearly a decade of waiting, someone has finally stepped into that legendary speed zone. And he did it not just with style, but with a statement that thundered across the globe. It wasn't just a win, it was a warning. A new standard has been set. And if you're not ready to match it, you're not even in the conversation. This wasn't just a personal best or a meet record. This was the beginning of something we haven't witnessed since Bolt ruled the track. So what happened at the Jamaican National Championships that changed everything? Why are fans, analysts, and even rival sprinters calling this the start of a new era? And what does 9.75 actually mean in a post-Bolt world? You're about to find out. Because what Kishane did wasn't just historic, it was disruptive. And the ripple effects? They're already shaking the foundations of global sprinting. The men's 100-meter final at the Jamaican National Trials has always been sacred ground in sprinting history. It's where legends are born and hearts are broken, and this year's showdown was no exception. Going into the race, all eyes were on Kishane Thompson. He had the fastest times in the rounds and was clearly the man to beat. But what made it unpredictable was the field behind him. Seville, Akeem Blake, and Brian Lavelle were all wild cards with very different trajectories. Seville and Blake had been nursing injuries earlier in the season, but were still stepping into the blocks with high expectations. Meanwhile, Lavelle had been dropping jaws in the 200 meters and looked like he might crash the party. With only 3 men making the team, the stakes couldn't have been higher. And then the unexpected happened. Not during the race, but just moments before it. Seville, visibly in pain, raised his hand at the start line, halting the race and triggering a wave of concern across the stadium. Was this going to be another tragic injury moment? Would Jamaica's fastest men fall before even hearing the gun? The drama exploded before the gun even fired. Seville, once hailed as Jamaica's next big hope, was clearly in distress. As he stepped up to the line, he winced, then raised his hand, forcing the officials to stop the start. Spectators held their breath. Seville wasn't just stretching. He was limping, clearly battling a tight hamstring, or worse. What followed was something straight out of a movie. He jogged slowly, stretched feverishly, and even left the track briefly for an emergency massage. No one knew if he'd come back, but he did. Moments later, as water bottles were tossed and nerves reset, Seville returned to the blocks like a soldier refusing to surrender. And when the gun finally fired, the unimaginable happened. Didn't just finish. He ran 9.83 seconds, second place. From near injury withdrawal to world-class sprinting in a matter of minutes, it was a performance that defined courage. He may not have won, but the heart he showed was unmatched. And yet, even that storyline was instantly overshadowed. Because as brave as Seville's run was, there was someone else rewriting the rules of speed entirely. When the gun went off, there was no hesitation. From the very first step, Kishane Thompson surged with such intensity that it was obvious we were about to witness something unreal. By the time he hit 30 meters, the gap had already opened. By 50 meters, the crowd was gasping. And by 70, no one was looking at the other athletes. They were watching the clock. This wasn't just a win, it was domination. As Thompson crossed the finish line, eyes darted upward to the screen. 9.75 seconds. Thunder erupted in the stadium. Cameras flashed, people screamed. Not only was it the fastest time in the world since Bolt retired, it was a brand new national stadium record, breaking Bolt's own 9.76. The torch had officially been passed, and it wasn't done quietly. The performance was clean, technically brilliant, and showed no sign of fatigue. It wasn't just speed, it was command. This was the kind of run that makes athletes legends overnight, a signal that the sprinting world has a new leader. And as Seville fought through pain to claim second, all anyone could talk about was the man who made history at full throttle. To the casual fan, 9.75 might sound like just another fast time. But for those who understand sprinting, it's a seismic shift. No man has legally run that fast since Usain Bolt. It's not just elite, it's untouchable territory. For nearly a decade, we've watched fast men struggle to break 9.8, let alone 9.75. And now that Thompson has done it, the entire gold medal conversation is flipped on its head. It means that to win at the global level, 9.85 isn't good enough anymore. You need near perfection. Thompson has set a new gold standard, and the rest of the world is officially on notice. Gone are the days where consistency alone could take a title. Now, you need brilliance. His run didn't happen with a hurricane tailwind, fluke reaction time, or ideal altitude. It was pure, clean, raw speed, executed with terrifying efficiency. It wasn't just a win on the clock. It was a message to every 100-meter contender worldwide. If you want gold, you better bring something no one's seen before. So who's left that can actually match that level of explosiveness? The list is short. Trayvon Bramell ran 9.76 last year and looked sharp again this season, but can he replicate that under pressure? Fred Kerley in 2022 form was arguably the most complete sprinter alive, but recent races suggest he's still searching for consistency. And then there's Noah Lyles, the current American darling and 200-meter king. But here's the truth, there's no evidence that Lyles can hit mid to low 9.7s. He's been brilliant at 9.8s, but in this new speed zone, 9.85 gets you left. Kishane's performance has created a line in the sand. On one side, Contenders, on the other, Pretenders. To beat him, you're going to need the race of your life executed flawlessly, and even then, it might not be enough. The scary part? This might not be Thompson's peak. If he's already clocking 9.75, what happens when he sharpens that start, or builds more top-end strength? We're not just watching a breakout, we may be witnessing the rise of a generational talent. History doesn't always announce itself with fireworks. But sometimes a moment is so undeniable that you feel the shift in real time. That's what 9.75 was. Kishane Thompson didn't just win a race, he launched a new era in sprinting. The world is now watching a man who's forced every other elite sprinter to rethink what's possible. The throne has been claimed. The pace has been set.
We could Bible of teams a possible standards Sunday, and if you didn't see it happen live, then you missed one of the rarest moments in sports. A generational arrival.
Going forward, every meet, every lineup, every final will be framed by one question. Can anyone catch Kishane? Because if they can't, we may be witnessing the dawn of another dynasty. And in sprinting, dynasties don't come around often, but when they do, they rewrite the entire sport.